All right, let's talk about the magic of cloud gaming. The dream of playing these huge blockbuster games on pretty much any laptop you've got. But let's also talk about its biggest, most infuriating problem, that performance-killing lag. We've all been there, right? You're completely in the zone, about to win, and bam! The game stutters, it freezes, maybe it disconnects entirely. It is so frustrating. And your first thought is probably, my laptop just can't handle it. And that's the big question, isn't it? You look down at your machine, you curse its little graphics card, and you immediately start pricing out expensive new gaming laptops. But does that powerful, super pricey GPU even matter when the game itself is running on a server hundreds, maybe thousands of miles away? So let's just clear up the biggest misconception right here, right now. You do not need a beast of a machine for cloud gaming. Seriously. All the heavy lifting, all that intense graphics rendering and processing, that's all happening in the cloud. Your laptop is basically just a really nice window to all the action. Okay, so if it's not your GPU, what is it? Well, the real star of the show, the true MVP of your cloud gaming performance, is your internet connection. This is where most of your problems are going to start. And, lucky for us, it's where we can find the most effective fixes. Now, when we talk about your internet, it's not just about raw download speed. The metric that is absolutely crucial here is latency, what a lot of us call ping. Think of it as the round-trip time it takes for your button press to get to the server and for the server's response to get back to your screen. For a smooth game, you want that number to be as low as humanly possible. And what's the single best way to crush your latency and get a stable connection? I hate to say it, but you gotta ditch the Wi-Fi. I know. Nobody likes being tied down by a cable, but plugging in with an Ethernet cord is the undisputed champion here. It just wipes out all the interference and weird signal drops that you're always fighting with on a wireless connection. Of course, plugging in isn't always an option. I get it. If you absolutely have to use Wi-Fi, there are still a couple of things you can do. First, get on your 5 gigahertz network. It's way faster and a lot less crowded than the old 2.4 gigahertz band. And second, this sounds obvious, but it works. Physically move your laptop as close as you can get to your router. And if you don't believe me, check out how much of a difference a tiny physical change can make. This quote from our source material is just perfect. A 40 millisecond improvement is absolutely massive in the gaming world, and it costs $0 to do. It just goes to show you should always try the simple, free fixes first. If you're feeling a little more adventurous, you can actually dive into your router settings. Look for something called QoS, or quality of service. That basically lets you tell your router, hey, my laptop's gaming traffic is the most important thing right now, so prioritize it. You can also turn on things like MU-MIMO to help if you have a lot of devices online, and definitely turn off any Wi-Fi power-saving modes. Those can cause really annoying micro-stutters. Okay, so we've established your network is priority number 1, but that doesn't mean your laptop is totally off the hook. It still plays a really crucial role in making sure your experience feels smooth. Here's a great way to think about it. The game is being cooked up on some super powerful server far away. That's the chef. But your laptop? Your laptop is the table where the meal gets served. And if that table is wobbly, it doesn't matter how amazing the food is, the whole experience is going to be ruined. Your laptop has to be a stable platform for that incoming video stream. So how do we make that table rock solid? It's actually pretty easy. First, dig into your power settings and switch to high performance. This just tells your system to stop trying to save battery and go all out. Next, be ruthless about closing background apps. Every extra browser tab, every chat program, they're all fighting for resources. And finally, make sure you pause any automatic updates or cloud backups before you start playing. Want to go even deeper? There's some cool tricks inside Windows itself. You can actually tell the operating system to restrict background data for all your other apps, making sure your game gets all the bandwidth. And here's a clever little trick. Set your connection to metered. That tricks Windows into not downloading those massive game-killing updates while you're trying to play. All right, your network is optimized. Your laptop is tuned up. The final piece of the puzzle is the software you're actually using, the specific cloud gaming app or the browser, and the settings hidden inside that service. This is a huge question, and the answer isn't what you might think. Should you download the dedicated app for your service, or is it better to just run it through a web browser? Well, it actually depends entirely on which service you're using. And this table is your cheat sheet. For services like GeForce Now and Boosteroid, the dedicated app is almost always better. It's more stable, it's got more features, but, and this is a big one, for Xbox cloud gaming, The secret weapon is actually the Microsoft Edge browser, and we're about to see why. So let's look at some specifics. If you're on GeForce Now, you need to go into the settings menu. Make sure adaptive bitrate is turned on. That lets the stream quality adjust on the fly to match your network. And always select the server region that's physically closest to you. Now, for you Xbox cloud gaming players, the one feature you need to know about is called Clarity Boost. This thing is a game changer. It's a special sharpening filter that makes the stream look way crisper. But here's the catch. It is exclusive to the Microsoft Edge browser. You can't get it in the app or anywhere else. And other services have similar controls. Boostoroid lets you manually tweak your bitrate to find that perfect sweet spot for your connection. Shadow PC gives you really granular control over your connection speed. The main takeaway here is simple. Always explore the settings menu, no matter what service you use. So, after all of these tweaks, after all this work, what's the final verdict? Is cloud gaming on a regular old laptop actually a good alternative to having a dedicated gaming PC or a console? Let's weigh the good and the bad. The pros are pretty awesome, right? No need for an expensive GPU, no waiting for huge games to download, and you can bring old hardware back to life. The cons, though, they all come back to that one critical thing, your internet. A shaky connection means you're going to get ugly compression, you're going to feel input lag, and of course, you can't play at all if you're offline. And choosing the right service really matters, too. As you can see, something like GeForce Now is usually the best bet for competitive players who need that super low latency. Xbox Cloud Gaming is amazing for more casual play, and its incredible Game Pass library. And then services like Boostoroid are great for getting access to a wider range of games. So, we can boil down everything we've talked about into a really simple 3-step plan. Step 1, network tweaks. Prioritize that stable, wired connection above all else. Step 2, smart laptop settings. Use high-performance mode and kill those background apps. And step 3, service tuning. Use the right app or browser and actually dig into the settings. Which leaves us with one final thought. If you can get this amazing, high-end gaming experience on a 5-year-old laptop just by optimizing your connection, does that mean that a stable, low-latency internet plan is now the single most important gaming upgrade you can possibly buy? It's something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.